Welcome to another episode of the Overcrank. And today I'm joined by another special guest. This is getting really fun, having so many different people join me on the show. And today we've got AJ from Burlap and Light Productions. And AJ is going to tell us a little bit about his experience with the Luna, because we all know I'm in love with it, and he's doing more than with it than I am. So AJ, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me. And hey, I have my tin hat on just in case.
You know what? I really appreciate it. I got to stay on brand here, because I'm always dipping into some tinfoil hat territory. So AJ's here for the party.
Yeah. All right. We'll get rid of the tinfoil hat for now. We'll put it on if we get back in there.
Yeah, keep it handy. Here. Keep it handy. Because I always end up down that path.
Yep. So again, thank you for having me.
No problem. Thanks for coming on. And thanks for joining me on a Saturday night. I know this is pre-recorded, but here we are. Yeah. I guess I'm just addicted to the whole YouTube thing. So let's go.
Yeah, well, it's better than being outside in 105 heat right now.
That's right. Where are you from, AJ?
New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Southeastern New Mexico.
Little toasty there this summer.
Just a little.
Well, again, it's really nice to have you here, and nice to meet you. I mean, I've watched your videos, and we've talked through Instagram, but nice to meet you actually in person.
Sure. Ish.
So the first thing I want to point out to everybody, which I didn't know till we started recording this, is that AJ's actually using the ACS Pro 2 as his webcam, and I think it looks pretty fantastic. AJ, tell us a little bit about how that's working for you.
Actually, while we were talking about this a couple of days ago, I was like, well, I've got all these high-end cameras, but I'm like, I really don't want to get out, interchangeable lenses and everything else. And I wanted to use the Luna, but we can't do that. Insta, hello.
Exactly. I'm still using my Pocket 3 Insta. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. But I was like, all right, what can I use? And I knew the X5 would do it, but I was just like, yeah, that's a little bit of overkill. So I was like, wait a minute. I remember somebody saying that the ACS Pro did it. And so I was like, all right, let me plug it in. And as soon as I plugged it in, turned it on, it popped up webcam mode. I was like, all right, cool.
And the thing you showed me, which blew my mind too. Like, first of all, let's just take a step back. That means Insta can do it. So it's got to be coming for the Luna. It's got to.
Has to be.
But what you said when you plugged it in, it changed the aspect ratio too.
Right. It has when it pops up, and after you hit webcam mode, it will pop up just down in a little thing about face tracking and zooming. So if you move like,
Oh yeah.
Like that. So, and then as you see, it just changed my aspect ratio again. So, but I was like, it's pretty cool, but I'm like, all right. Cause as you see, my office is a complete and utter mess. Like Colden showed, I've got a lot of stuff going on too. So I haven't had time to clean, but it works great. I'm not complaining. For these types of things, however, I will continue to use this, but I think I'm going to order Insta's, their webcam, because it actually records in 4K. This is 1080p. And this is 1080p. I'm not complaining. It looks good.
Yeah. No, and I have seen that one. It kind of looks like the Luna head, doesn't it? A little bit.
Yes.
Their webcam. Yeah.
Yeah. They've got two, but I'm going with the one that has the rotating head on it. Because, for product reviews, you can actually have it point down and, look underneath it.
Oh, gosh. I never thought about that. That would be a cool, just a simple little cam to put as an overhead for when you're talking about products and stuff.
Exactly.
Oh, I may have to get one of those too. Don't tell my wife.
Well, mine's coming out of the photography fund, so she doesn't care.
Fair enough. So that is the picture looks really good. The skin tones look good. And again, like the one thing that I didn't like about the Action 6 was that crazy wide angle look, which just is not my favorite look for a webcam.
No.
Some people kind of lean into it, but I don't dig that look. But this is a very usable image.
It's better. It's better than the webcams of old.
Yeah. Yeah. And it connects directly to the Mic Pro as well.
Actually, yes. I had to unplug it and then, turn the screen around, play with everything, but I got it to connect. And the weird thing is you actually have to go into the Bluetooth menu on the Ace Pro 2, unlike the Luna
Okay.
where it says accessories, or, where it gives you the option, because the Luna in the menus says wireless mics
Yeah, right.
without having to go into the Bluetooth. This one is, I guess since it's older, you have to go into the
Okay.
Bluetooth menu. But
So that's
yeah,
like,
it's one little extra, and there you go. But it's not that
yeah.
bad.
Okay. Well, probably in the Ace Pro 3, they'll have gotten that figured out. We're hoping.
And maybe they'll have iLog 10-bit.
Oh, that's right. That is not in the Ace Pro 2, is it? They don't have an
No.
iLog profile.
They have an iLog profile, but it's 8-bit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And
Yeah,
that's the other thing I was complaining. I was like, people, everybody's like, oh, we got to have 10-bit now. Well, we got along for years with 8-bit and doing it professionally. So
I'm saying, depending, and that depends too. Like, I'm not trying to knock the Ace Pro 2. Like, people, look, I work for myself. I'm a very small operation. I'm still running my Sony. I'm still running my Sony FS5 because I have two of them, and I invested a lot when I did that, and I love them. Like, it's a great camera, and it's only 8-bit, but that sensor on that camera gets so much information that I can do a ton in post. It's a great camera, even though it's old. Like, I will, when I upgrade that, it's probably going to be just an FX30 or FX3. I'm not really worried about going too far into the future, because that seems to be like Cole and I have been talking about. He's been saying on his show, we've kind of gotten to critical mass on professional cameras. The new stuff is like iterations better that a client probably won't ever notice.
Yeah. In Spanish, paquito, small.
Yeah. To me, I'd rather save a little money, get one generation older, and just keep working,
Yeah. It's like, what was it on his and Jake's podcast? I made the comment, they were talking about buying new gear. And I'm like, I'm not buying new gear. The only thing I've bought new here recently is the Luna and the Ace Pros that I have. Other than that, the last 3 cameras I've bought have all been used, including my Blackmagic Cinema 6K.
Oh yeah. That's a great camera.
But I bought it used. I'm like, I'm not paying for a brand new one. Yeah. It's just,
I think that's a true,
easier.
Independent creator world. Like, I don't need to spend that much money to get the image. And, what was I going to say about that? Oh yeah. That's the other thing. When you're talking about professionals, and I think I've mentioned this before, they tend to take way better camera than just like Joe with his pocket cam, who's just beating them up and throwing them around. So you're pretty safe buying a market on the secondary, a camera on the secondary market, I should say.
Right. And lenses too. I mean, I've bought used lenses. I mean, just recently, I bought a GFX 100S for my dedicated just photo. And I don't want to, my Lumix is nothing. I use it specifically for real estate and real estate only. That's all it's for.
Okay.
So, and then I've started using the Blackmagic for all my car content.
Oh, okay.
Because why not shoot 6K open gate and some really nice cars? Sure.
Oh, well, yeah. And looking at your Instagram profile, in fact, I'll put your handle up here on the screen. The one thing I was drawn to is you have just a lot of color, and it's totally popping. And I love that. I'm a color guy, and like,
same here.
And so it's like, it's just vibrant, the images that you're capturing.
Thank you.
Yeah, the car content isn't just like car content. It like pops. I'm like, man, this stuff looks good. So yeah, you don't need the latest and greatest if you just learn how to use your gear.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a professional photographer for 19 years. So I mean, I learned my craft and learned my gear. My mentor was like, look, get it right in camera as much as you can. I came up with, don't fix it in post. Don't adopt that mentality. Do what you need to do in camera.
Yeah. That's most definitely the best thought process. That being said, though, I do now shoot stills always in RAW, like, because there's just so much you can do in post, but you still
Right.
need to get it right at the front end. So I kind of want to kind of jump now. Now we kind of covered that topic, but because there's a couple things that you and I have been talking about that we wanted to discuss today.
Sure.
One is, and this was a highly touted thing with the Luna, where the color science, I think it's particularly in Dolby Vision, but you can correct me, is ACES Pro certified.
Yes, it is
So,
ACES certified.
so first, let's take a step back because as I told you before we came on, I kind of came at this business from the back end. I didn't go to film school.
Neither
So
did
what? So what does that mean? Something that's ACES Pro certified. So start me there.
Short, sweet version, ACES is a Hollywood standard used in Hollywood.
Okay.
That way I could work on it, send it to you, you could work on it, and it's going to be the same throughout the whole thing. And then you add, obviously I'm using Resolve, so you'll add your nodes however you want, and then you can share them that way. And if anybody in the comments, if I'm wrong, please say something, because I still am not well versed in this. But I saw that it was ACES certified. I'm like, all right, let me research this. And rather than going in and doing a node with a CST, I did a little research, and I'm like, well, okay, I can actually physically go in through the project settings and just change the color, for the input color, because in Resolve 21, you can actually go in, you change it to ACES CCT, and then your input, you hit the drop down. The Luna the Luna is actually in there as far as the profile goes.
So that's interesting. So that's within DaVinci.
That's in DaVinci.
It's already cooked in there. And that color profile, then do you shoot it in log, or do you have to shoot it in the Dolby? Like,
I've tried shooting in Dolby. I mean, I love watching movies in Dolby Vision, don't get me wrong, but I personally, I just don't like shooting in Dolby, because to me, you got kind of that baked in look already, and you really can't do too much. So I'd rather shoot. I mean, but it goes back to the photography, shooting in RAW, shooting in video. I'd rather shoot in log. That way I have way more control. And then so to me, it's a lot easier. I mean, and I'm one of those guys, I like to learn things. I'm kind of a nerd at camera stuff and editing. People are like, you like editing? I'm like, actually, yeah, I do. I learn. So, and then the final step is then what you have your input, which is the 360, and then you have your output, which is Rec 709. But I've seen to where some people are saying to export it in Rec 2020 or Rec 2100. So I'm trying to figure out, all right, what do I do there? And I looked today for the video that I shot as well, and I didn't see a Rec 2020. So I don't know if that's going to work. I may have to do that with an actual CST. So I don't know. That'll be another grading video, which I'll make on that at a later date, probably next weekend or something. But for now, just the easiest thing to do is, it gets you, for me, my interpretation of it, it got me about 95% of the way of where I wanted it after I just went through ACES. I mean, I think I did one node, and then I did just the contrast and, shadows and highlights, and that was it. I mean, and then maybe a third node for a little bit of saturation to make the colors pop just a little bit more.
Okay, so help me out here too, because I haven't used the ACES. So you drop that on, it's like it's its own kind of LUT.
I guess you would call it a LUT, but I really don't, because it's not an actual lookup table.
Okay, but it's same kind of principle.
Same principle, yes.
You dump it on, and it adds a color.
Right.
Okay.
So
that's interesting. Now, so then your Rec 2020 would be sort of the last step in the process.
That's if you go Rec 2020. But like I
So
said, when you go into, you click settings
yeah.
and you go into your color management, and then you'll do your selection. Cause normally they say like DaVinci YRGB or DaVinci managed or whatever, hit your drop down, and then you'll select ACES, and then
Okay.
ACES CCT, then your input, which would be the Insta, and then your export, which would be Rec 709, which is
Okay.
generally what we're all looking at on YouTube or
Oh yeah.
Instagram anyway. So I just use Rec 709. Plus, I mean, I use a calibrated monitor, and that's what I leave it on all the time anyway. It's Rec 709.
Okay. All right. So I've been doing a little bit more rudimentary version of that because I don't do DaVinci yet. I know I got to get on DaVinci. You guys are all telling
It's
me I got to get on
free.
DaVinci. I
It's
know.
free.
I just got to learn it. Every time I get in there, I'm like, where are these nodes everybody's talking about? I got to take a class. But from Insta, you can download in their color profiles. They give you a Rec 2020 option is one of those that you can apply. And I have been using that more because one of my viewers was like, oh yeah, I've been doing Rec 2020 instead of 709. And I just use it on a little shoot I did for a client. And I was like, this is a very filmic look.
Right.
For
And
just
I may
dropping
have
it
to
on.
go in. I may have to go in and download that because I really I want to see what it is as well.
Yeah, I would recommend it. It comes on their website. It just all comes in one big zip file. They're 709 and they give you, bear with me. I think it's 33 and 65 for each of them. For
Right.
the 709, there's a 2020 and there's one more 2020. I don't remember what that one is. So there's 6 slots that they provide for you and just a download that you can kind of pick your flavor. And then once you put it in your nonlinear editor, you can kind of like choose the intensity like you were doing in DaVinci.
Right.
But I was pretty pleased with the way it looked. I was like, boy, that is not bad. Once I dropped it on, I didn't have to do a lot other than I like to kind of punch up the blacks and the shadows a little bit and give it just a little more richness. But at the end, I was like, boy, that is a good looking image. Especially coming on these little tiny cameras, it doesn't cease to amaze me. So what's been your experience now that we've kind of talked about it with the end product? How do you feel about, what you're getting out of there?
Not one single complaint as far as the end product goes. Now, if I have a complaint about it, yeah, it could be me because I may have misstepped or I've got too much movement in the Z axis, but that falls back on me. As far as the product goes, everything that we've been seeing the complaints about, I've been doing this long enough. I'm not patting myself on the back or anything. It's just that I learned to work within what the camera has at that specific time, what it can do at that time. I'm not going to try and break the camera. So now my wish list is just like everybody else's. Hey, let's put an EV meter in there. Let's put the streaming in there and everything else for webcam and all that. But as of right now, I really have no complaints as far as how the imagery and the photos come out of it at all. None, period. So
I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Extremely happy with my purchase. Yes,
Okay.
and I did pay for it. It wasn't given to me.
So I'll tell you what, while we talk about it a little bit more, I'll put up some of the footage that you've actually shot from your YouTube channel so people can see what this looks like. So have you had the chance so far to then take what we're doing with the Luna, the stuff we're looking at, and use that actually for client deliverables, or is this for your personal projects right now?
Right now, it is for mine until I get fully. I've been practicing. I kid you not. I got it on a Thursday night. I had it the next day up in Ruidoso, New Mexico, and I know the realtor, and I'm like, hey, let's try something. And I walked through the house with that, and the results came out good. Mind you, she was like, hey, I like these, but I still want to play with it with the wide angle. So I'm talking to a buddy of mine here, seeing if I can get into one of his listings. I was like, look, I'm not going to charge you for it because, I'm trying something out.
Yeah.
because if I can do it, if I can start doing real estate with that little thing, yeah, it'll be a lot easier than walking around with, a gimbal and everything else. So it'll make my life a lot easier.
100%. That's
So,
been my experience too, that it's kind of, I don't know. And you know what it is? We've put ourselves into a box as video guys, like with the rails and the mat boxes and everything. And when we show up with this, we go like, no, I'm actually going to do a professional video for you today.
yeah. I mean,
So
I did, and talking about that, like Cole was like, oh, well, the map box and all that. I'm like, yeah, I have a map box. I think I've used it maybe 3 times.
yeah, exactly. Mine's just in the basement, just get covered in dust at this point. Like I don't even bring that thing out. It's too much work.
Yeah.
And
now I do this. This comes in extremely handy.
what are we looking at?
This is a little handle I use to help with Z-axis because since I shoot a lot of car content, I have the one of the electronic suction cups that has the bouncy arm on it.
Oh yeah.
So I pull that off and I just put this on here, and then I just do my little goofy ninja walk and like that, and lean it forward a little bit, and it actually helps to take out a lot of the Z-axis. So it's kind of nice.
That's been one of my tips I've been saying too, is kind of tipping almost at a 45-degree angle to get those shots, because then your hand is this motion gets mitigated. It's tougher when you try to do sort of the drone style shots on a tall selfie stick, because you start getting that Z-axis bump, which I hate.
Yeah. I did do some of those on the 4th of July video that's on my YouTube. I actually did fake drone shots with the invisible selfie from 360. So they came out pretty good.
With on the Luna?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're putting those up right now. Let's take a look at those. Yeah. Because I love that, only because I love drone work. We got 2 problems. One, I'm too lazy to get my FAA Part 107. I got a drone guy. When I need drone work, I just bring him on and we charge for him.
Right.
2, we could be in trouble with this ban. And I mean, the drones I have will probably last me a number of years yet until things get figured out. But that look is something that people are starting to expect. And so if we can find ways to cheat it, I've gotten one of these. I don't know if you've got one. I think it's a 3-meter selfie stick off of Amazon. It's fantastic.
I have that big, tall, real big, tall one that's like 9 foot long or whatever.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
That'll work.
Yeah. Because with that wide angle lens, it looks like it's much higher up than it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very cool way to get that look. And you don't need a license to hold a pole.
No. And then, like for me, I go fly a lot up in Ruidoso, and there's trees everywhere. So I'm always like, where's it at? Am I hitting a tree? So I just, I'm like, ugh. But yeah, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah. I talked about that on a chat with Colden. I have an irrational fear of heights. And when I fly my drone, for some reason, the same fear factor kicks in. Because I was out shooting this video with my buddy Brent, and he has his license, and we were doing this thing for what do you call it, the AAA league here in town, or the AA. I don't know. And
I saw that; those were good.
Oh, thank you. But you should have seen how far he was flying that thing around the city. And I'm like, oh my God, it's behind the buildings. You're freaking me out, man. Mm-hmm. He is a great pilot. He's just like, no, it's fine. I'm like, okay, whatever. That's not for me. That's for Brent.
Yeah.
He can do that all day long. I'm like, I'm going to lose it. It's going to be stuck on the roof of some building somewhere. But to be able to get similar looking shots with these is like, that's a sweet little trick.
Yeah.
So the next thing that I want to talk to you about, and this is one that has come up on my channel a number of times, and we're going to talk about it because you tested it. Overheating. Everybody wants to know, oh man, when does this thing overheat? And before you tell your results, I just want to, and I think I just said this recently on another stream. Look, every other camera I've owned overheats. My Sony mirrorless cameras overheat so bad. It's kind of a problem sometimes on client shoots. You're like, okay, we got to pause for a minute. I need to cool it down, swap batteries, and wait till this thing temperature comes down. That is very common, and not after a very long period of time.
Mm-mm.
So you talked about the Lumix, that flagship one. What was your experience with that one? Before we get into Insta.
I don't own the S1R or the S12.
Okay.
But when the S1R came out, I mean, there's plenty of video on YouTube of people, oh, this is such an amazing camera. And then, all the influencers, not a single one of them mentioned overheating within the first couple of weeks of reviewing them when they dropped their videos. But from people like you and I who were spending their hard-earned money on this, we're like, oh, no. We're going to say something. And I've seen videos where, within 5 minutes, nope, it's done. It shut off because it got too hot.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, and I understand, hey, you're trying to get the market, get the thing out to beat everybody else. Kind of like, hey, a certain company we know dropped a camera that we didn't know about until, oh, hey, by the way, B&H has it for sale. Oh,
yeah.
But it happens. I mean, it happens. I mean, my GFX, both of them that I've owned, I kid you not, they give, and I have the settings adjusted to, the highest setting, and I will still get a heat warning and I'll have to shut the camera off.
Yeah.
So I mean, and this is
after about how long?
This is a high, depends. If it's, 75, 80 degrees, I could do an entire session outside, no problem. But if I'm in the 90s and higher, within 30 minutes, it'll start giving me the little blinky light going, hey, look, it's starting to overheat, turn me off. And I do. Yeah. But I mean, you're looking, so it's not limited to just a small camera like the Luna. It affects these bigger cameras as well. Now, and when they started this overheating thing, especially geared towards the Luna, I kept telling everybody and commenting because I try to stay active in the Luna forums on Facebook and the groups. Yeah. And I'm like, listen, I've never not owned a Insta product that has not gotten hot. I mean, I own like the Go 2. That's how long I've been using Insta products.
Okay.
And I mean, it's a little bitty pill. Trust me, 10, 15 minutes, that thing overheats.
I believe that.
And then, I went from the X2 all the way through the X5. And within 30 minutes, that's generally about how long you can run them. But for me, they get hot and you need to shut them off.
Okay.
I've not really played with the ACE Pros to test them to see how long that, before they start overheating and getting hot, because I shoot everything. I'm just switched to, I'm shooting them in short clips and leave it at that.
Oh, we're 28 minutes into this conversation. It hasn't overheated yet. So that's a good sign.
No, it's because I'm actually sitting in a nice cold room. So that's a good thing.
All right. So what was your experience trying to sort of stress test the Insta?
All right. So what I did with this one is I just, simple controlled setup to prove that, because there were people going, well, I want to shoot 45-minute long, interviews with people, cinematic stuff, full-length feature films and all that. And I'm like, well, you know what? I decided all on my own, nobody asked me, so I took the Luna, set it on a desk, got my Lumix camera out, set it up. Then I went and grabbed my FLIR camera for my day job.
Oh, nice.
And I set it up to focus on the handle, the actual, the handle where everything is.
Yeah.
And I put the center cursor on it and I ran it I was going to do a 20-minute test, but what did I do? I didn't change the battery in the Lumix and it started to die. So I'm like, okay, no pre-planning, but I did have my SD card. I didn't forget that. And then
never forget your SD cards.
Never. But, and like I said, I just ran it for 16 minutes and I had to keep flipping on the the FLIR camera because it's set to shut off at 5 minutes because I was like, I don't want to change it. Nah. And so I just set it on there and I recorded the back of it, and you see how it starts at like 100, 101 and goes up to its final ending temperature. So if you want to know what that is, people, you're going to have to go watch the video.
Yeah,
Sorry.
gotta watch his video on his YouTube channel. But how did you ever get a warning of overheating or it's going to shut off or anything?
Never.
And how long did you run it?
I ran it for 16 solid minutes.
Okay. Well, that being said, what temperature was the room, your control test?
My house temperature was set at 70. Now, if you watch the video and you look down, anybody that knows how to use a FLIR or read a FLIR, you look down in the right-hand corner, it's going to be jumping between 73 degrees Fahrenheit and 75 Fahrenheit, because it's also taking the ambient, everything around it.
Yeah.
So we're roughly anywhere between 70 and 75 degrees in the house. But then, I made it fair. I didn't have a ceiling fan on or anything. So it was just sitting there doing nothing. Now, while I was doing this, I was recording. I hit the record button and kind of stress tested it, moved it around, did some talking. I didn't include any of that video, but I still, for a good minute or two was walking around recording, having it track me and everything else. Still, it didn't really get to the point where it was hot. And I mean, even a few times I walked up and I grabbed it with my hand and I'm like, okay, this is not hot at all. So I was like, I can hold it.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, when you pull up the video here in a bit for the 4th of July one, that one did tell me this was after 2 hours though.
Yeah.
At the end of my 2 hours but I was, off and on, off and on, off and on. It gave me a battery warning saying, hey, look, the battery is not going to charge because it's too hot. It didn't tell me to shut it off. It just said, okay, it's getting hot to preserve the battery and not cause damage. It's going to not charge.
Interesting. But that was outdoors, I'm assuming, for
fireworks. That was outdoors, yes.
In New Mexico. So hotter than 70 degrees, I would assume.
That was roughly at noon, and it was 91 degrees.
Okay. And you were running for 2 hours on and off, not constant 2 hours. Right. So that's a much better realistic test, because that's when people are going to use it. Now, I actually think I can, not that this is a competition, I think I can top you and give you some good information. The first day I got the Luna, the first day I tested it, it wasn't even intentional for a heat test. I ran it for 50 minutes nonstop for a live music concert, handheld for that one the whole time. And so it was warm in my hand and it never stopped. And I never got a warning. Yes, I was indoors. But it was a room full of people. So I'm certain it was over 70 degrees, probably 74, 75, because, you get a bunch of bodies in a tight space. It gets warm quickly.
Right.
And it ran for 50 minutes nonstop, no warning, no nothing. So you could do a long form interview, I think, no problem. Now, long form interview outdoors in direct sun. Okay. No. Maybe not. That's not a good look for a long form interview anyway.
No.
We want some shadow. We want some scrims. Right. We want to do something. So,
especially for us with this, we definitely don't want sun.
No, I got to wear my cowboy hat at that point. It's too hot. I got to keep the sun off. But the overheat thing is a much less of an issue I have found than any of my other mirrorless cameras.
Right.
And
as you said, and I agree with you 100% on that. I mean, it gets warm in the hand, but it's tolerable. And to that point, I keep telling people, hey, look, all of us creators, we want the latest and greatest features inside these little small cameras. There's nowhere for, heat dissipation. There's nowhere for it to go. So it's going to get hot, but you've got to take the trade-off. Do you want all this new new gear, new tech, and all this inside this to make our jobs easier, then you have to take, the heat with it. Sorry, it's just how it's going to be.
Absolutely. That being said, I will say the only time I didn't like how hot it was, but it wasn't that it was uncomfortable. Is that I was trying to do Colden's thing where he's like, I just leave the external battery attached at all times. That made everything feel much warmer than just running the camera, because it wants to charge the main camera from the external battery while you're running, as opposed to run out that and then use it. It's kind of doing it all at once. That made it get warm.
And not to mention, it's also trying to charge the remote too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that all got much warmer than just running the camera. So I'm not a fan of that. I would prefer, probably, because these cameras run for a long time.
They do.
With the screen attached, I've run it for, I had one night, like kind of like you, I was doing an event. I was out for 4 hours on and off. But you're running around for a while with it, just the screen on, and you're waiting for something to happen, and it's just on. And I think I got down to like 30 or 40%. I never even needed the extra battery.
I did. Yeah, I agree. Cause I did one at night, and unfortunately it was while we were staying, all those videos you saw me doing them in the hotel room when the AC went out. I went to a car meetup that night and I shot it that night, and let's face it, pure video is no joke. It stresses
oh my gosh.
It stresses it, and it handled it like a champ. But I did off and on. And I think I was there for 3 hours, and I only used maybe 30% of the battery.
Yeah, it's sick efficient with the battery. And while we're on it, on a tangent, that pure video is like some kind of magic voodoo. I don't know what's going on there, but when you
They
use
were
that,
like sprinkling on.
when you use that, you're like, this is like, and I talked about this, the Sony RS3 or something like that. That was like, you could basically see at night when it was like 128,000 ISO or whatever. This camera is
for me.
This camera is almost equivalent to that. Like when you put that pure video mode on, you almost need no light. I don't know. In the world of cameras, I was just at an event last night. I was shooting a professional thing for the ballet, and it was like an outdoor event, and with a stage with outdoor lighting. And I'm not sure the lighting director had planned for it to get as dark as it did, because they set the lights during daylight. And I was like, holy cow, it is getting dark. And I had to crank my FS5 to kind of keep it so I could get an image. And I was like, man, I bet if I was running this Luna, I wouldn't even have a problem. Like it would just the one thing I have noticed with the Luna, and maybe you saw it, when you're in a dark area, it will give a warning, like battery will be used faster in this setting.
I've come across that.
Yeah. Which I thought was interesting, but like not alarming. Like, sure, like you said, it's doing a whole lot of work internally to make that work.
Yeah. It's what they call it, computational photography.
Yes. Yeah. And I don't hate that. Like, I feel it's sort of the future. And Peter McKinnon had been talking about it for years ago on the iPhone. Like, this is a new age we're in. And I think the old guard are going to have to kind of embrace it. Like, it's going to happen.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it goes back even further than Peter McKinnon. If you really look, there's a guy based out of Seattle by the name of Chase Jarvis.
Yeah, I like that guy.
And he coined it. I think he coined it. He goes, the best camera you have is the one you have on you. And
I have his book. That's that.
And he did a showing, I guess, in New York years ago, and it was nothing but iPhone photography. And this was back when it was used before I think it was even before the iPhone 10. So, we know how far we've come since the 10.
Yeah.
But, it goes back further than that people are like, hey, look, I'm going to take this and, I'm going to make photos with it. And I agree. It's the camera you have on you. And I do it all the time, but I'm also at the same point now where I want my phone to be my phone.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That and that being said, he actually inspired me. I actually did that too with an iPhone 10, I think it was. I can't remember right now. I don't have the poster here. And I did a gallery show. It was 100 photos of the city of Akron, all shot on iPhone. And it was my most successful gallery show I've ever had. It was before all it was trendy, and I printed them all out and think 6x6 or whatever prints in black and
right,
white, and matted them all. And I just sold them matted prints, and it was my most successful art show that I've ever done. And it was all iPhone. So yeah, that tells you something about where we're at, because I didn't do anything fancy. That was old school iPhone.
yeah, that's weird to say that, old school iPhone.
Well, they have come so far. I was watching a video with Marquez Brownlee, another guy I love. And he was showing the challenges, the newer phones. I think it was iPhone. It might have been a Samsung. The computational photography has now gotten a little too far in the phones, where it's doing too much. The AI is taking over a little bit, and it's not necessarily the image you were hoping to capture.
Right.
And that's the danger point, and why I like these cameras shooting in log, because it cuts a lot of that out.
Right. I mean, and on the iPhones, you can still shoot log, but we're also restricted to the phone you buy, how much memory you buy, and shooting in ProRes eats up a lot of memory.
Yeah, you can't even do it natively. You have to use an external drive, so it's a whole other process.
And then on top of that, you have to use, what is it? To get the settings. If you want to shoot cinematic stuff, you can't even use the native app. You have to download the Blackmagic app to do it.
100%. Yeah, and I was trying to do that as a professional application. I actually built out a little flight case of iPhone stuff, and I have a cage for it, and it just started to become too cumbersome. And that's when I fell in love with like these pocket cams and action cams. Like, this is way easier.
Yeah.
Turn it on and it works.
See, and I have never owned a DJI pocket cam or pocket gimbal or any of their action cams. Never.
Oh, wow.
My first, I've owned the GoPro 8 and the GoPro 12. I think I still have the 12 somewhere. It's like in a drawer somewhere. I don't know. But like I said, I've been using Insta since the Go 2, and I've just been a fan of their product ever since. I mean, just seamless integration, but they've only gotten better. And I mean, now this ACE Pro, I mean, I've put this thing on the side of a truck and run through mud puddles with it, and just hosed it off and kept going.
I will tell you, and this is going to sound counter to everything we've talked about so far, that Action 6 is a killer of a camera. The open gate shooting on that is so cool. It is so cool. And then they shoot their D-Log. I use that a lot for professional work, for special applications. I can't say enough about what a good camera that is. And that's partly why I guess maybe I'm bitter.
I mean,
that we're at this space.
I agree. I mean, and the thing is talking about OpenGate, I've actually been shooting OpenGate since before it became the thing. I was shooting OpenGate on my Fuji X-H2S. That's how long ago I was shooting it. Before, everybody's like, oh yeah, we got to have this. Back then they're like, oh yeah, OpenGate, whatever, 4x3. And I'm like, well, if you think about it, back to when you and I were growing up, that was the format on the TV.
Absolutely.
Was 4x3.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, 4x3 is this cool thing. I was watching that back in the 90s. What are you talking about?
Not good.
I was like, okay, hey, we can crop in. It's great. But I was like, they were filming like this back in the day. It's nothing new.
I know.
But no, the OpenGate is good, especially for like if you're shooting a cinema style, and it comes in great if you're using anamorphics. I will say that it is tailor-made for anamorphic lenses, but that's getting off topic.
No, that's fine. I had a trip down. I was back to what you were saying. It was really funny to me because I remember when my wife and I, when we got our first 32-inch TV, and it weighed like 500 pounds. You're like, oh my, you had to buy. I remember back in the day, everybody had to have an armoire in their house to put their TV in. Like, what a hideous whole situation.
And it stuck out like this far.
Because when we went to Costco the other day, I was like, look at this 80-inch TV. This is awesome. And I'm like, it's like, I don't know, $900. Like, this was unheard of back in the day. You would have had to been a millionaire to have that TV, in the 90s. So yeah, we have definitely come a long way from the 4x3 era. I don't know. I went down a tangent there.
No.
So anyway, this has been a really enjoyable conversation, AJ. I really appreciate you joining me and sharing your experiences with me.
Yeah.
And sharing your footage with us so that everybody can see what you're doing. And please, everybody, please be sure to go check out his channel. Show him a little love over there. Give him some subscriptions. Check him out on Instagram. Here's all his things so that you guys can connect with AJ as well. And maybe AJ, we'll have you on again sometime. We can talk a little bit about.
One thing is there is a new video dropping on Monday for the head tracker.
And so that will be, give me the date because this video will probably go Monday too. So it'll probably be the same time.
Right. Since I'm in Mountain Time, it'll be released on Monday at 8 a.m. Mountain Time. But it's me going through and using the head tracker with the neck strap.
That's Monday, the 27th of July. Just double check, just so everybody knows.
Yeah.
If you're watching this a year from now, it was back in 2026 and it was a really great video. You should definitely check it out still.
But it works great. So, and, I talk like I speak and I try to keep them interactive and as short and as sweet as possible for any of the videos that I do talking heads on, because I'm not going to try and drag it out and sound all technical and everything because that's not me. I'm a nerd, but I
what
like
do you say?
Easy
what
to
do you
understand.
say, AJ? I thought we were friends. Now you're just knocking my show. No, I'm just kidding.
No. No. I'm not Gerald Undone. I can't go that deep. I can't go that deep. No. But no, it'll be out and hopefully people will like it. But I mean, and also for anybody that is watching this, if you're into the Discord thing, there is a Discord channel for creators. That's a creator channel, and then there's the actual Insta360, official channel, and they're always looking for people to join and share their work. So they're really, I wouldn't say adamant, but I mean they're really big on keeping and getting people there to share their work, because obviously, hey, that's why we're here, is to share our work and talk with people like Todd and have fun. That's why we're here, is to create and have fun and share our work.
Absolutely. That's a perfect way to wrap that up. So again, thank you so much for joining me, AJ, and thank you all for watching. And if you like this, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.